We regularly go to the salons because we make so many public appearances or social appearances, and then there was a culture in between where people believed that their hair had to look like super perfect. So there was a lot of blow drying happening, and everybody joined the bandwagon where they were having this absolutely perfect looking hair which was chemically treated. It still continues, and I personally also agree that if you get your hair straightened or smoothened, it is easier to wash and wear or easier to maintain, and it's very tempting to get your hair smoothened. But then smoothening was causing a lot of damage to the hair, so then came keratin and came cysteine and so many similar sounding names that people said, no, this is better, that is better, this is free of chemicals and that has lesser chemicals. So there's a lot of conversation happening about it, and a lot of people ask me also, so is it good, is it bad, does it cause hair fall? A lot of people have experienced that after going through such chemical treatments, their hair fall has definitely increased. People say that I have to go straighten my hair, or I have been straightening my hair every 6 months or every 9 months, and now after 3 or 4 sessions of straightening, I have seen that there is a lot of hair damage. So there are a lot of such stories which you would have heard or experienced. So let's understand that what is good in these treatments, how to choose, what to expect, and what exactly happens. Does it actually cause hair damage? So all procedures that involve high heat, these are the procedures we are talking about. So in this video we are not talking about the hair spas, but we are in general putting everything under one basket, where you're using a very hot blow dryer or you're using like a very hot iron and causing some kind of temporary or permanent structural change to the hair. So we're talking about those procedures. So if you are using high heat, you need to understand that one of the problems is there is no standardization. So if you go to two different salons, they are using two different kind of products, they are using the products differently, they are also using different kind of heat styling instruments, and the heat they are using is also very arbitrary. There is no measurement of the heat. So one of the problems why there is so much damage happening with these treatments is there is no standardization. One of the reasons why nobody is able to tell you clearly, and there is this ongoing conversation with no proper understanding, is these terms are so loosely used. What one person calls as a cysteine, the other person calls as a keratin. What one company calls as a keratin is different from what the other company calls as a keratin. Since there is no standardization of this, so it's like a difficult conversation. So we will be able to get a general idea and general principles understood, but when we go out in the market and try to talk about these, people will two people will say the same thing, but they may be referring to totally different ingredients, and the outcome may be totally different. So I just want to say that whether somebody is calling it a cysteine or a keratin or a smoothening or a straightening, the basic ingredients that is used in the cream that causes this, the basic ingredients are more or less same. Only the concentration of the products is different, the amount of product used is different, and the procedure, some procedures may require a longer waiting time, some procedures may require a more hot iron to be moved over it. So if somebody is looking at a more poker straight hair, then they may be using very high iron or 2 rounds of ironing. So more or less the principle remains the same of coating the hair with something and coating the hair, creating a coat around the hair and using heat to infuse this product on top of the hair to change the structure of the hair, to loosely understand, to do something like lamination of the hair from the top. So this is what is happening. So overall hair products quality has improved, whether we talk about hair color or whether we talk about the products that are being used in keratin and straightening. So I think for the last 20 years the hair market is constantly evolving. There are many international players who are doing a lot of research, pumping a lot of money. There are a lot of very well read aspirational people who are using these products regularly. So if you compare the products available in the market today to the products available in the market a decade ago, definitely the quality of the products, the amount of unnatural or harmful chemicals in the products is definitely decreasing, and the products are getting better and better and causing less harm than before. So this is kind of I'm just making you feel a little better and rationalizing it for you, because we are dependent on these products with the kind of humidity that we live in, with the kind of lifestyle that we live, and the amount of frizz that most of us have in our hair as we age or naturally, and what is expected out of us when we go for formal occasions. At some time or the other, people are going for heat styling. So I just want to say that today the products that are available are not all that bad and are not worth stressing that much over. Yes, any kind of synthetic product, any kind of over styling does cause damage, but are we going to totally stay away from them? No, we're going to balance it and make sure that we are aware that there is damage. We're going to minimize the damage as much as possible, and then we are going to nourish on the other side, so that this damage we are causing, we're not just taking it for granted, we are also nourishing the hair. But also I would like to say that nourishing the hair with nutrition or collagen supplements, that's a damn good idea. But in fact, even these kind of keratin or cysteine, even they contain a lot of nourishing ingredients. In fact, if we go and read the label, they use a lot of hydrolyzed protein in most of the products. So even in spas, a lot of protein is used. But this video is particularly about heat styling, not about a hair spa. It's more about a heat styling. We will talk about a hair spa in our next chapter itself. But I want you to know that though they are healthy ingredients to some level, they are not transforming the hair quality from inside. So the awesome inside out principle is something that a salon does not give you. A salon may use an average product or a good product. If you go to a standard salon that uses standard company products, generally these products have one or two not so good ingredients, but they are not typically very bad ingredients. But even though they are using a good ingredient, it merely coats the hair. It doesn't make the hair healthier at the root level. It doesn't make the hair healthier at the inside of the hair. Forget the root of the hair, but even the hair on the inside doesn't get any better. It's a mere coating or a lamination to the hair. So externally the hair looks better because it has a coat of lamination. It's even stronger. Each hair looks thicker. So that is a benefit that you get when you go for such treatments. The only thing is, let's not be led by a false sense of security that this protein has penetrated inside the hair and made the hair healthy from within, because it has not. Now what happens is, we said that it's not adding any health to the hair internally. It's merely something that's coating on the outside. And now the negative part is, one is the heat. And you know the kind of heat that these treatments take, it's almost like a steaming hot iron, and no cell of the body, no nutritional supplement, no vitamin can tolerate that kind of heat. So this extreme heat is dehydrating the hair. It is removing the nutrients from the hair. The existing protein of the hair is getting damaged because of this extreme kind of heat, which the body or any cell of the body is not made to tolerate that kind of heat. And after causing that damage, it is merely coating the hair with something good so that externally the hair looks good, but inside the heat that is being used is causing a lot of damage to the hair shafts. It is fracturing the hair shafts, making it brittle. And also there is something called as a traction. So if you're going to pull the hair too much, so this is going to be constant pulling of the hair, which happens a lot during the ironing machine or blow drying. So this pulling and tugging of the hair is causing inflammation to the scalp, to the roots of the hair, is kind of irritating the hair. And any kind of irritation to the body, whether it is through stress, which we talk about, or whether it is through these Physical irritants, any kind of irritation to the body responds to it in a negative manner and slows down the growth when there is irritation to the body. So the heat and the traction both are highly irritating. The heat damages in many ways, and the traction damages by constantly pulling and tugging at the roots, and the traction also can cause a lot of hair to get weakened at the roots, a lot of hair to break down. So these are the two areas where any kind of heat styling is damaging the hair. So it is a calculated decision whether you want to do it, you do not want to do it. It's a personal choice. So in life, nothing is all good or all bad, but how we can be empowered is by knowing what is good about it and what are the price we are paying for it. So what are we losing to get these benefits? So now that I have made it clear to you, you can take a calculated decision that I would like to go for them. I know that this is the damage this is the price I have to pay, this is the damage my body undergoes. So then how can I minimize this damage, and how can I pamper my body so that some part of this damage is taken care of, is my approach. Because yes, I do not believe in living a life of compromise and always thinking, no, this is bad, so I wouldn't do this is bad, so I wouldn't do this. So then we will have very limited options. Rather, if I know that something is bad, then I evaluate how bad is it, how much is it going to affect me short term and long term, how do I minimize the damage that it is causing, and what can I do to replenish whatever damage I have caused. So post care becomes very important. At least caring for your hair right, not allowing further dehydration of the hair, not making your hair further irritated, using the right post care therapies, not using very hot water. Even if you're using the right post care therapies, your keratin, cysteine and all these treatments will last also for a much longer time. And if they last for a longer time, you will not have to keep going back and using that hot iron on your hair again and again. Also, to create that super flawless look, if you have kind of treated hair and your hair is looking reasonably nice, people are still running blow dryers and hot irons on treated hair because they want it to look impeccably neat. I think fortunately today, being yourself, owning your uniqueness, showing up the way you are, and vulnerability is taken as most attractive. So just fall in love with yourself the way you are, because each one of us is beautiful. We just need to own what we have rather than trying to be perfect versions of what we believe we should be. So in the post care, I would say that maybe if you want to, you can go for these treatments, but do not use a hot iron on your hair or tongs or anything of that sort very often, because it is doing more damage than you realize. And also, people who are going for chemical treatments, I wouldn't even say coloring is so bad unless you're bleaching and coloring, but if you are talking about the chemical treatments like this, which use extreme hot iron, somebody who's going for a blow dry very often, I think hair nutrition becomes a non-negotiable for them, because I think that's the least they can do to their hair when they are taking it so much for granted and irritating it so much and removing so much nourishment from it. At least provide good nourishment to it. Make sure the protein in your food is enough. If it makes sense to you, also include collagen in the form of supplementation. It is definitely helpful. So now that you know that heat styling has become a way of our life, not for each one of us, but for many of us. If it is something that's a way of your life, I think the first thing, again, we go back to saying the same thing again and again, that we need to accept it. Sometimes, few things need to be repeated, because despite repeating them, we sometimes go into denial or we do not accept things. So then here, though I feel that though I'm repeating it, it is important. So accept what you have, accept what you have chosen for yourself, and then start looking at how you can reduce the damage and how you can pamper yourself.